Hey everyone, welcome back to Deep Dive Podcast. I'm Alex, and with me as always is my co-host Same. Today we're diving deep into a story that's been swirling around the tech and defense worlds for months. AI in warfare, the fallout between Anthropic and the Pentagon, OpenAI stepping in, and what this all means for us everyday folks.
That's right, Alex. We've got a lot to unpack, so let's start with the headline that really set things off. The Wall Street Journal ran a piece saying the US military used Anthropic's Claude AI model in an operation that captured Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro. It was the first time the Pentagon publicly confirmed it was using AI to scope targets.
And that blew up because people suddenly realized that the same kind of generative models we chat with on ChatGPT might be helping plan strikes and identify enemies. But let's rewind a bit. What exactly is Claude, and why did Anthropic get involved?
Claude is an advanced language model developed by Anthropic, a company founded by former OpenAI researchers. Unlike the public-facing models, Anthropic built a custom version for the Pentagon under $200 million contract that also involved Palantir's data integration platform. The idea was to take classified intelligence, satellite imagery, surveillance feeds, intercepted communications, feed it into Claude, and get actionable insights in real time.
So essentially they're turning raw intel into targeted targets for the military. That's a huge leap from a chatbot that answers trivia questions. Same, can you explain how this system worked during the Maduro operation?
Sure, the operation was carried out by US Special Forces in Venezuela, coordinated through a Palantir-based platform called Maven. The platform ingests data from 179 different sources, everything from traffic cameras to intercepted radio chatter. Claude processes all that noise and spits out a ranked list of potential targets with coordinates and priority levels. Think of it like having an AI eyes that can sift through terabytes of data in seconds, giving human operators a shortlist of who to strike.
That's staggering. And apparently this same system was used in the conflict between Israel, Iran, and the US, right?
Yes, the Pentagon claims that Maven, powered by Claude, helped identify and prioritize Iranian targets during the early stages of the war. Reports suggest it could turn a week-long planning cycle into something that operates in real time, an artillery unit doing the work of 2,000 staff with just 20 people.
That's both impressive and scary. Now let's talk about the fallout between Anthropic and the Pentagon. What were the core issues?
The crux was a demand from the US government that Claude be used for all lawful purposes without any private sector restrictions. Essentially, the Pentagon wanted to open up the model for domestic surveillance of Americans. Anthropic's leadership, particularly CEO Dario Amodei, countered with two safeguards: no mass surveillance of US citizens and no fully autonomous lethal weapons without a human in the loop.
And the Pentagon didn't budge.
No, in February 2025 they gave Anthropic an ultimatum: comply by Friday or face consequences. Amodei said, "We cannot in good conscience acquire." The Pentagon then labeled Anthropic a supply chain risk, banned its use across agencies, and essentially cut the company off from any further defense contracts.
That's a huge blow to Anthropic, especially given they were already a major player in the AI field. Now let's shift gears. The next big move was OpenAI stepping into the breach. Same, what happened there?
Within hours of Anthropic being shut out, Sam Altman announced that OpenAI would take on the contract with the Pentagon. He claimed the deal included the same safeguards Anthropic had demanded: no domestic mass surveillance and human responsibility for lethal decisions. The deal was rushed, only a couple of days of negotiation, and it sparked a huge backlash.
That's right, I remember seeing the Quit GPT movement on social media, with millions reportedly cancelling subscriptions or protesting in San Francisco. The public sentiment was that OpenAI had betrayed its original mission as a non-profit focused on human benefit.
Exactly. Critics argued that OpenAI's quick pivot to defense contracts signaled a shift from safer AI for humanity to AI for war. The New York Times and CNN both highlighted the rapidity of the deal, questioning whether it truly mirrored Anthropic's safeguards or was just rhetoric.
Let's dig into the technical side. Same, how different is the military-grade Claude from the consumer versions we use on ChatGPT?
Two main differences: the model itself and the hardware. The military version is a custom fine-tuned model with higher performance per request. Think 5 or 6 orders of magnitude more compute dedicated to a single customer versus shared capacity among millions of users. Also, Anthropic has worked on looking inside the black box, identifying geometric directions in the neural network that correspond to personality and safety constraints. That allows them to enforce limits like the assistant persona speed limit, ensuring the model behaves predictably.
So even with those safeguards, there's still a risk of hallucination or misidentification.
Absolutely. Paul Scher from the Center for New American Security warned that AI can get it wrong, and humans must verify outputs in life and death contexts. Even Anthropic's own CEO admitted the technology isn't ready for fully autonomous weapons.
That brings us to an important question. If the military is already using AI for targeting, how much oversight do we actually have?
Oversight is limited. The Pentagon's demand that Claude be used for all lawful purposes, without private sector restrictions, essentially removes any independent checks on domestic use. While the government claims they will respect laws like the Patriot Act, there are concerns about mass surveillance of Americans, analyzing geolocation, web browsing, financial data purchased from data brokers.
That's a chilling prospect. Now let's talk about public reaction and potential safeguards individuals can take. Same.
The Quit GPT movement is one form of protest, but beyond that, people are being urged to remove themselves from data broker networks, those third-party services that aggregate your personal information for sale. If you're not on those lists, you reduce the risk of your data being harvested and fed into AI models used by governments.
And we also need stronger laws, right?
Definitely, citizens are encouraged to sign petitions, lobby lawmakers, and push for regulations that limit domestic surveillance and require human oversight in lethal decision-making. The tech industry is under pressure to build human-in-the-loop mechanisms into AI systems destined for defense use.
Let's not forget the global angle. NATO has signed a contract with Palantir for its own version of Maven, right?
Yes, so this isn't just a US issue, it's an international one. The same AI tools could be deployed across Europe and other allies, potentially expanding surveillance capabilities worldwide.
Before we wrap up, let's circle back to the core question. Is AI in warfare inevitable? Same.
Given how quickly military budgets are adopting AI for targeting, intelligence analysis, logistics, it seems inevitable. The challenge is ensuring these systems are transparent, accountable, and subject to ethical constraints.
And that brings us to a personal takeaway. What can we do as consumers or citizens?
First, stay informed about how your data might be used. Second, support open-source AI research that prioritizes safety and transparency over proprietary profit. Third, advocate for policies that keep lethal autonomous weapons under strict human control.
Great points. One last thought. Anthropic is reportedly back in talks with the Pentagon. That could either mean a new compromise or a repeat of the same conflict. It's something we'll have to watch closely.
Indeed, and whether OpenAI keeps its promises remains to be seen. The stakes are high, and history shows that once AI is embedded into defense systems, pulling it out can be almost impossible.
That's all for today. Thanks for tuning in to Deep Dive. If you found this episode helpful, consider subscribing, leaving a review, or sharing your thoughts on social media. We'd love to hear how you feel about AI's role in warfare and surveillance.
And remember, technology can make life easier, but we must steer it responsibly. Stay curious, stay critical, and let's keep the conversation going.
Until next time, I'm Alex, same here. Take care, everyone.